Thank you. Okay, let me do, well, that'll do. Good morning. Both of us had conflicts in our schedules, so we are bringing this to the Coalition of Little Rock Neighborhoods participants in the meeting of August the 8th, 2026 by modern technology. I am Kathy Wells. I'm president of the Coalition of Little Rock Neighborhoods. We're here with Director Kathy Webb, and the topic is the city data center regulation, the recent moratorium, and other proposals packed in with it. The directors locked 4-4. It was not therefore successful. And my question is the what next? The other features in this proposal we are very pleased to see have reflect topics we have been discussing in our coalition meetings recently, such as public hearings, such as putting up a city website with all information, such as getting recommendations from the Sustainability Commission, such as having the planning department do some research and proposals to strengthen the existing data center ordinance, such as studying ratepayer cost protections. And another thing that we have been looking at, I think as few others have been, is the full life cycle of the center, the 30-year cycle, the clean energy issues, the renewable possibility alternatives to just putting up another energy power plant with fossil fuel. It's not one single fix, as a recent scholarly article told us. It's energy efficiency, it's improved cooling, it's clean energy procurement, and it's beyond annual averages. So, Director Webb, this was your proposal. What comes next?
And I think it was a solid proposal. And I want, first of all, want to touch on a couple of things that you said as we talk about what comes next, because a lot of people have asked me what comes next. People were disappointed, but there is a next. And as you and I talked on the phone earlier this week, I think while this is very disappointing, the next can be very strong as well. So I don't want anybody to lose hope or lose faith. One of the things that you just mentioned about recommendations from the Sustainability Commission, as you know, or may know, I'm the liaison from the board to the Sustainability Commission.
Good to know.
And Wes Pruitt, who is the past chair of the Sustainability Commission, he and I have been talking months and months and months, way before it became really as much public debate as there is now. Wes and I have been asking questions for months and months and months and months. And the Sustainability Commission has an ad hoc data center committee, which has been meeting and which submitted a number of questions. And some of the recommendations that they sent were things that we included in the moratorium ordinance. And they also sent some suggestions for regulations, which I'm trying to sort through all of that, which I hope we can add to a second regulations ordinance. So that is what I wanted to tell you about the sustainability piece of it. And the planning department, I have met with the planning department, but there will be many more meetings with the planning department. We have, besides Brad Jordan, we have Mark and Hannah. I don't know if you know Mark and Hannah, but they have been looking at this for longer than many of us have. And they've been looking at issues across the country. They've been looking at best practices. They've been looking at other ordinances. They've referred me to other ordinances, which I've been, and other websites. You mentioned website. I don't know if you've looked at the Loudoun County, Virginia website, but they have a very good website that has a lot of the things that we talked about in the moratorium.
They have one of each, and you want to put up one of each. Document and record.
Oh, yes, documents and records. Like
there we go.
Yeah,
that's right.
And so if you look at the Loudoun County, I think you would agree, or I hope you would agree, that it is incredibly thorough with what they have on their website, Loudoun County, Virginia.
How can we bring this out into a more public understanding? That's where the public hearing issue comes in for folks like us,
Well,
who are also researching it and want to hear more about what's behind just an ordinance that we think needs strengthening in the current data ordinance,
well,
and so forth.
one of the things
How can we get in on the conversation?
One of the things that I would like people to do for right at this particular second, and people have been, is send me, and you have sent it to the board, some things to the board about what we can do to strengthen the current ordinance. So right now, I'm asking people to send me those suggestions. But I also want to go back to the ordinance that we did pass, which I don't think many people have probably gone down line item by line item.
We have.
Oh, good. Because one of the things that we are planning on doing, as you know, at some 4 o'clock agenda meetings, we have policy discussions. And so one of the planned things that we're going to do is have folks from the planning come and go down item by item what this says and what is in our current body of ordinances that relates to this, and that also addresses some of the questions. Like I took George Wise's 50 questions from the Sierra Club. And when I met with Brad, Hannah, and Mark, and we went through some of that. So we're going to go through this. I've been talking to the city attorney, and we've been talking about and to planning. So we've been talking about some of the things that we lack, that we do need to strengthen. And I've been getting input from others, and I also took some. And so let me tell you what I have as a note for some of the things that we need to strengthen: water, electric supply, noise, wetlands, wastewater, heat, decommissioning.
Yes, big missing piece.
I think decommissioning is very important, and it's not going to stay missing. And one of the things that you have talked about is the emergency preparedness. I've talked to somebody, and so the answer to some of these things is I don't know. I don't know if we have enough right now, because I do know that the airport has the most sophisticated emergency preparedness probably in the state. But is what they have close enough or sufficient? Would that be enough to cover two things? So like a lot of the things that we talked about the other night, we don't have enough answers to these questions. So those are kind of my main things to look at. Plus, something that one of the residents talked about the other night when they talked about potential damage to Fraser Pike. And
are we not resting on Google's assurances that all will be a cost to them? So they're going to plunk a chunk of money into the Public Works Department to repave Fraser Pike and make it 6 lanes or whatever?
We're not going to rest on that because I want us to talk about potential damage, road impact, and possibly. I mean, I've looked at this draft ordinance as well, that has a more detailed section on traffic impact, hours, things like that. So I would say that is another missing piece of it. An additional piece that I want to talk about, and this is not only this is not specific to this issue. I think it's an in general piece. I think our planning department does not have as much enforcement power as I would like to see them have in certain circumstances. And so we need to talk about more enforcement. And this is, Kathy, this is what I'm looking at.
Scope of work at the moment time.
And I mean, and I will say this, when we originally drafted the moratorium, it had some more pieces in there. I felt like we had a better chance of passing it if we focused on the moratorium and took out some of the other pieces. So there'll probably be some separate things coming down the pike. As you know, things keep changing. There's a lot. I'm getting lots of articles every day from different people. trying to make sure that what we have is adaptable as things keep changing, as we get more information, but that we are protected and we're doing the best practices. So a lot of people at the city are looking at things, and I think, if sometimes we don't give our planning department enough credit because they are, in my opinion, studying, aware that we need to do more, and ready and willing to help us do more.
And this is simply not told to the public. So we haven't been in the loop as you have been, and that's understandable in one way, but it also brings up the repeated question of having the planning department open a revision file for the data ordinance so that the public may submit their proposals and have them in public somewhere. That goes back to the website. Is there not a way for that to be done so that we can feel like we're being heard, and so that we might be seeing some of the things that you are thinking a good policy, let's call it the emergency preparedness material, before it comes to tonight? We are putting in the ordinance on the agenda for adoption next week.
And I think one of the things that we can do is slow down a little bit, like not put an ordinance on the agenda that we're going to deal with the following week.
So for this topic, it sounds like a good plan to do your 3 readings at 3 meetings over a 6 weeks period. Yes.
And I agree with that. And so I think that, and the reality is that's why I thought a moratorium was a good idea. I think, there's some people who want us to get something done tomorrow. And then I think in this case, taking our time doing it right, if you look at some of the stuff on Loudoun County, and of course they've had a lot more time than we have, but they have a plan 1 or a phase 1, they have phase 2, they have a 2-year plan. So I think you're right, in 3 successive meetings. And there's so much information that comes. I try to keep people up to date, but I can't even keep people up to date with everything I'm
That's
doing.
why we need to bring technology into it. You put it on the website where anybody can see it, not call you up at midnight. How about that?
People do call me at midnight.
I know, but we can cut it down.
Can you get them to also then not call at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Just say website. Maybe that should be your answering machine when you're off duty, is check the website.
Well, and both of those calls didn't have anything to do with this, so I think I'm going to still get those calls.
Okay.
But that's okay.
That's your job. Yes.
And that is what, that's where we are. We're working, and I'm going to keep working and taking notes. And I can't answer the question now about opening
a revision
file. It's my understanding. I think that you've talked to the mayor about that.
I have, and I put in a letter some weeks ago.
Okay.
And so this has been a persistent call of ours. We need to have a place to lodge officially our great ideas and our observations. As you said, there's this missing piece omitted from the present ordinance, and we would like to see that added. I will give you one example that in fact could be pursued immediately. Very simple. Ban firefighting foam that contains PFAS, forever chemicals. We've been reading not only about the dangers that exist, about a fire in a data center. I have sent you all that article.
Yeah.
And they used that type of foam rather than the clean alternative, call it fluorine foam. And it was entering the local stream that was the drain for wastewater out of this fire site data center. Now, I've checked with Chief Dunn. We have no ban on PFAS chemicals now. It is very clear from national authorities there is the safe alternative. And this, of course, would be a citywide and for all activities.
Yeah.
And we know the dangers. So, goodness gracious, why not zip in there and do that one soon?
Well, and that's a good point, because I think there are things that we can zip in and do soon. And if you'll send me, I know you said you've sent us articles and I sent it, but send it fresh. And let me take a look at that, and let me see if that's something that we can do. I think we're going to keep doing things on and on. I don't think it's a one and done. And we said,
and that's the reassurance we're looking for.
And we said that, I said that very first night when we passed the initial ordinance, I said, this is the first step. This is not one and done.
But that's not quite the same. I'm going to work on this tomorrow with the planning department, and we are going to bring something to you rather quickly. Even though we're taking our time with it, we have now accumulated a collection of knowledge that tells us some things we want to do and some directions we want to go. So this is the kind of reassurance I'm very grateful to have from you today.
And you've got it. And I will tell you that if I went and did a video or whatever every day of telling people all the things I was working on every day, it would be good. And I wish I had the time to do that. Sometimes am so focused on all the work I'm doing, I don't have time to tell everybody
about
what I'm doing.
That is very understandable load in public service, and I appreciate that. But let me point out that circles back to opening a revision file so that some of that gets diverted into this official channel. And we need a mechanism for a timeline. I will throw out 45 days. That seems to be common in many government agencies. It certainly is a respectable amount of time, particularly for our neighborhood groups that meet once a month. If they get the word no other way, but coming to their monthly meeting. And we respect the fact not everybody's got a computer and not everybody's on the internet. So how else do we bring in the constituents? 45 days will give them a good chance to be heard and to respond.
Speaking of the computer, you have your notes on a computer and I have mine in cursive. Like I said, I did the other night. That's not relevant or important, but anyway, okay. I'm going to talk to the mayor. I'm going to keep following up on all of the things that I have told you.
The other paragraphs in the moratorium ordinance, that part has been, as they say, severed. That's a legal phrase.
Yep.
But all the others remain in play. Is that a fair statement?
That's fair.
Great.
So,
thank you so much. And let me once again bring you back to the decommissioning touches on it. But let me point out that one of the good points in a recent article that I got and shared with the board is important to view the life cycle and view the complexity of things. And that is also the hazard that we navigate and we respect that the city has to navigate, because I just came up with a real winner of a single item ban PFAS chemicals in firefighting foam. And it's good for all time and it's good for all people. But there's a lot more moving parts. And we have to respect, in many ways, I think, that City Hall and the citizens of Little Rock are sadly lacking in this particular highly complex field. And we need to be going out and looking for professional, scholarly, and scientific information to assist us in dealing with something that is an order of magnitude bigger than we've ever seen.
It is an order of magnitude bigger than we've seen, and I made that comment
you
almost verbatim.
You did
the other night that it was, and I'm going to agree with you and push back just a tiny bit too, because when I sat down and met, excuse me, with Hannah and Mark and Brad, the knowledge that they had on this particular issue, it was way beyond the knowledge that I have, and I was impressed. But I think all of us are continuing to go out. I printed out that article I see that you have beneath your notes. I printed that out and have this.
Right. Yale University is pretty respectable source.
I agree. And I have that in, actually, it's right over there. And so it's the biggest, it's one of the biggest things we've ever had. And we've got to do some things that we can do like now. And then we've got to take our time and do the right things in a reasonable amount of time. So,
but have enough knowledge to make the judgment between the speedy and the immediate beneficial PFAS foam chemical ban, once again, and the complexity that they talk about. And we respect that. But once again, I think we've got a silo effect going on, because all of this wealth of information that you had been sitting at the table and getting from Brad and the rest of the planning department is something that we lack. That's where putting it up on the website. We're looking at this, and it may be that it duplicates a lot of what we've got. Wouldn't be surprising. We are looking for factual information in all the professional places, but it's also very possible because my data center network has grown since the first of the year. I'm now sending out to about 55 people. And that's a bunch of researchers. Let us make you aware and benefit from our research.
Thank you.
How we do that is the question.
Thank you. And we will get you an answer. I don't know that it'll be today or tomorrow, but we will get you an answer.
We'll look for that.
And you're going to work with me on that, on the other issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this interview. It will be shown once again to the Coalition of Little Rock Neighborhoods, August the 8th meeting. We regret both of us had conflicts that did not permit us to attend in person. This is going to be part of a meeting that will be live streamed and will be recorded, and the link to that YouTube video, including this video, the entire meeting will be available through YouTube, through our Facebook page at CLRN.AR. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy. Have a good trip.
Thank you. End of meeting.